I am going to show you what the controls do, how to use them, some advanced tip for your advanced drivers, and why you would even use cruise control at all. Let's get into it. So we should probably go through the basics first. The controls. There are a few controls for cruise control that are universal across the majority of cars. You will always have a cruise control on or off button. This is like the master control that lets you turn the entire system on or the entire system off if you don't want it to be active. You'll then have a resume button and a set button. Usually they're combined with the plus function and the minus function. I'll go more into how those work later in the video. All cars will also have a cancel button, and that just lets you stop the cruise control without turning the whole system off. Again, that's useful in a lot of places, but I'll go into that later in the video. Some cruise control systems may look different to this. You might have a stalk on the back of the wheel. You might have a toggle switch instead of separate buttons. Every car is different, but the fundamentals are the same and they operate in the same way. Let's get out onto the road to give you some actual real-world examples of how to use cruise control. Once cruise control is on, you can use either of the plus or minus buttons to set your speed. So let's get ourselves to 70 miles an hour and we'll hit either of those buttons. I can now take my foot off the accelerator and the car's gonna continue to go at 70 miles an hour until I do one of a few things. I can hit the cancel button, I can press the brake, or in manual cars, I think you can also press the clutch. Some cars might be different, but in every car, no matter what, you can press the brake to stop it. Now from here, you can still do a few more things. If you want to increase in speed, you have two ways to do that. You can just press the plus button and increase in 1 mile an hour increments. So I just pressed it twice and we're now at 72. A lot of people on the motorway think 72 is a nice, comfortable speed for making progress. Let's go back to 70 so we don't catch up with this car in front. What you can also do is you can override the cruise control without turning it off. So if you just put your foot on the accelerator and accelerate, say for example you wanted to overtake somebody, you get up to 75 and then you want to resume cruising at 70, all you do is you just press the accelerator, the car will accelerate, and when you let off of the accelerator, the car will naturally fall back down until it gets to 70, at which case the cruise control will resume. There we go, 70 miles an hour. There are also a few ways to slow down. What you can do, and what most people will do, is you just press the brake, that will turn off the cruise control, and then you can press the resume button, which will take you right back up to the speed you had set. Now, if there's a speed limit change, or some situation where you need the speed to change, you can then press the set button rather than the resume button, and whatever speed you're at, it will continue at. You can also at any time, say for example there's a slow car in front of you and you can't overtake, you can press the cancel button and that will just stop the cruise control. To make the most out of cruise control, what you want to do is you want to plan ahead so that you can drive smoothly. I'm going to make these lane changes and all of these overtakes and maneuvers ideally without turning off the cruise. Once you start using cruise control, you'll start to notice all of these people that on a downhill they'll accelerate up to 74 and on an uphill they'll lose speed down to 66 and their speed's just all over the place. And you really notice that when you use cruise control. Here's a great example of using cruise. I'm cruising along, I'm going to tap the brake so it disengages the cruise. We're coming up to a roundabout. We're going to negotiate the roundabout. And then on the other side, I'm just going to hit resume. Resume traveling at my desired speed. And once you start getting used to cruise control, you find any excuse to use it. You're coming up to a 40 limit and you don't want to maintain your speed. Well, you just get up to 40 and you hit cruise. To be honest, I'm just going to cruise again. And I'm going to use the speed controls to keep pace with the car in front of me. How fast do we think he's going? I think it's about 42. and we're coming up to a 50 limit. So I'm just gonna hold the button down. It goes up in 5-mile-an-hour increments, and just let the cruise control accelerate me to 50. It just makes driving so easy, even on this country town type driving. And now we're coming up to a roundabout, so all I'm gonna do is tap the brake. That will get me a little bit of engine braking. Some places you just can't use cruise because there are speed bumps everywhere, like right now. But then we come back to the faster stuff. It's a 40, we accelerate up to 40. We hit the cruise button, and we just let the car maintain our speed. And yes, going downhill sometimes, you'll go a little bit faster than 40 because there's just not enough engine braking. You can downshift to help this. Then we come up to a 50 sign, we just hold the button, it goes up in 5-mile-an-hour increments, and it accelerates us to the speed limit super easily. I mean, even on twisty stuff like this, as long as there's enough space and there's no traffic, you can just let cruise hold you at the speed limit. I mean, you could do it with your right foot, but this is just so nice and comfortable and easy. If you're just driving to and from somewhere, why not, right? One less thing to think about, as I'll mention in the why section. But look at this, cruise control all the way around corners. No drama. And then we're just coming back up to a speed limit change, so I'm going to tap the brakes to put my brake lights on so everybody can see that I'm braking. And then I'm just going to hit set, and it will continue me at 40 miles an hour. Even in this town driving stuff, it's absolutely fine. So why would you use cruise control? Well, there's a number of reasons it really benefits you. It allows the whole road system to work much more efficiently. By continuing at 70 miles an hour at a constant speed means that you're more predictable to those around you. You're easier to navigate if somebody wants to overtake you. You're easier to keep a safe following distance behind if somebody wants to follow you. It just makes the whole road system smoother and better. And I'll be lying if a small part of it isn't. It makes journeys easier. Some people say that it can affect their concentration and it feels like if they've got cruise control on it, they're not concentrating as much. I actually go the other way, and I think it increases your concentration because you've got more bandwidth for dealing with other things. If you don't have to focus on keeping your speed right at 70 and the car will do it for you, you've got more time to think about planning ahead, looking further ahead, what's going on around you, what's going on behind you, what turn you need to take, what the road situation is, where the road's curving. All of these things are easier to focus on if you have one less thing to worry about. So it can make your driving safer. And then the big one is really fuel economy. Some people say they can beat cruise control when it comes to fuel economy. And maybe if you've got the most gentle right foot of all mankind, maybe you can. I think it was more common as well with older cars. But realistically, modern cars, anything like 2010 and up, they're going to do a fantastic job with the cruise control. They're going to accelerate the right way up the hills. They're going to lift off the correct way down the hills. And yes, if you wanted to get really neurotic about driving, you could maybe beat the cruise control. But for just everyday driving and getting where you need to go, it will deliver better fuel economy the vast majority of the time.